Hello and welcome to the first edition of the Boys Basketball Coaches Show. I'm your host, AJ Ganger. With me, brand new head coach of our boys basketball team, Brett Kopp. Brett, thank you for joining us
Appreciate
today.
it. Glad to be here.
Let's introduce yourself a little bit to the community because you are the new coach. A lot of people may not know who you are, what you're all about. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I spent the last 6 years as a head coach at Bethel, my alma mater. And it was a good time, but when this job came open, I've known Chip for a while, and it's just something that really intrigued me. And my brother was an AD in the league, so it was kind of something that has always intrigued me. And after going through the process, getting to know the community members and the kids, it was definitely the right choice for me.
So what makes you so excited about coaching here?
Just the kids in general. I mean, I tell everybody I am an avid football fan. And the football program here, it shows that regardless of what sport, you can be successful. And I'm a disciplined guy. We're going to do things the right way from the get-go, and I know that's how Coach Neese does it. So these kids have seen it, so we're trying to get that going on the basketball end, and I think that's where my excitement comes from, is the possibilities.
And we've seen a lot of your posts on social media. You obviously have a Piqua basketball Twitter page. If you're not already, go ahead and follow them, because you not only tweet about the boys basketball team, you're tweeting about every other sport here in Piqua too. And I think that's huge as a coach here.
Yeah, athletics are such a big part of an academic institution that when athletics are good, the school spirit is up to an all-time high. I've seen it where football team was in the regional finals this year, and just every day they're talking about football. And I think it's about all the kids having success, and social media is how they learn and live, and right, wrong, or indifferent. That's how you reach the kids.
Talk a little bit about, because I know some of the kids that are on your team actually played football and they had to wait to be able to go back and play basketball this year. What was that like for you?
It was weird from the beginning. My last school I was at, we went through the end of June teaching, so I couldn't have a normal summer. And then I think I have 11 on the varsity roster, and 7 of them played football. It's just a waiting game. I mean, it could always be worse. They're winning in one sport, we can wait on another. It breeds competition. They're competitors, so it's not a bad thing for us. Now they're going to have to get their basketball legs underneath them, but that's something we can deal with as we go.
And last year we didn't really lose a lot of our kids. We didn't have a lot of seniors on our basketball team, so you got a lot of younger juniors and some seniors that are coming back. Bryson Roberts, for example, Drayshawn Roberts, Caleb Lyons. Talk a little bit about those players and some of the players that mean a lot to your team.
Somebody like Dre, who's a leading return scorer in the league, he's going to be a big factor in what we do. Nice kids. Again, I'm still getting to know all of them. I didn't really get a chance in the summer. They're really nice kids off the floor, but they're starting to learn how to compete on the basketball floor, which is the best of both worlds. And the thing I like the most is they get along really well. From number 1 to number 23, they're all kind of hanging out, and they get along. But we just got to kind of find those right practice habits day in and day out to get the results we want.
Now, how has practice been different from the years past, do you think? Are we practicing differently than what these kids were used to in the past? Or, I know you bring probably a different philosophy than what we had the last few years.
Well, the one thing is we're always after school, which for me is nice. I've never actually been in a building where I was a coach, so that's a plus for me. I don't want to say it's incredibly intense all the time practice-wise, but we're going to get it done the way that we've done it. I've got Coach Bixler, Coach Gillespie, and myself have all had a lot of success as coaches. And I told them the other day, we have our ways of doing things, and it's been successful for us, and we're trying to get them to buy into that part of it. And once they do, the sky's the limit for what we can do.
Talk a little about some of the games coming up. We've got a handful of games that'll be on TV this year. I'm sure that's different for you too, having the TV station here. You look in the room and we're all the way up there on the board. We've got last year's games up there. Reminder though that all the games that we do for the winter sports season, it's the same as the fall sports season, where we will be doing delayed broadcast, meaning after the game is over. The link will be posted on social media. I'm sure we'll get it to you. We'll get it to Mr. Hare as well to post on social media for everybody to watch. But we encourage everyone to come out here. Last year we weren't able to have a lot of fans in the gym. Let's pack the gym for all of our sporting events, not just boys basketball, but girls, wrestling, bowling. Let's try to pack the arenas for those to support those kids. Talk a little about some of the games that you got coming up. I know our first game is this Friday. We got Xenia. It's a whiteout. Hopefully the gym will be rocking.
Yeah, the girl in charge of the student section has been in communication with me. It'll be great to have fans in the stands regardless. And last year was such a different year. Regardless of where you're at, it was the no fans. It was really quiet. Basketball is meant to be played in a loud environment with good, enthusiastic fans, from both sides. So it'll be good for us just to have, for the kids to have their peers there will be a good thing for everybody.
And, we've got a pretty MVL heavy schedule when we look at it. We start with an MVL game. We've got 2 other ones with Stebbins and Greenville, and then we got the holiday tournament, something that's probably, I think Bethel may have been there for a couple years, but what are you looking forward to this season? Who's maybe the one opponent that you're looking forward to taking on?
I think it's got to be Troy.
Yeah.
I mean, I taught at Troy for a few years. I got a lot of buddies. I'm friends with Coach Hess. But being a rivalry, it's the one. That's the first one you circle every year, both here and there. That's always a good crowd. I coached at Troy basketball, so I know what the crowd's like during those games. So that's, other than the first one, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
And it's different in basketball because you play these teams not once but twice. It's a home and home. So you get to play Troy not only once, but you get to play Troy twice as well as Sydney and some of the other teams. Coach, is there anything else that you want to let the community know about this team or about your coaching staff or anything? Because a lot of people, they don't really probably know who you are.
The biggest thing is, like I told them in the interview process, my kids will play hard. If in the past it's always been, when I was at Bethel, like we're in for a fight, they're going to play hard. That's why I'm trying to get along to these kids that effort alone can win basketball games. And I'm thrilled to be here. The community's been great. The staff here has been great. The kids have been great. I'm just excited to get going for that first game and get that under my belt.
We are excited as well. Don't forget this Friday on 12:10, the Indians will take on the Xenia Buccaneers here at Garbary Gymnasium. You don't want to miss that. We'll be covering that game, and the next games we'll be covering will be the holiday tournament. We'll be doing all 4 games of those on December 29th and 30th. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We look forward to having you on. We'll probably go mid-season for our next one. That way you guys had a lot of games in, and we can talk a little bit about some of those. But again, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the first edition of the Piqua Indians Boys Basketball Show. For Brett Kopp, I'm AJ Ganger saying so long. Go Indians, beat Xenia.